Desires fulfilled breed more desires. I must confess I came today in a rebellious mood. I got a raw deal at the airline's office. When faced with such situations, everything seems doubtful. Everything seems useless. This is a very useful mood. Doubting all, refusing all, unwilling to learn to another. It is the fruit of your long sadhana. After all, one does not study forever. Enough of it. It took me nowhere. Don't say nowhere. It took you where you are now. It is again the child and its tantrums. I have not moved an inch from where I was. You began as a child, and you will end as a child. Whatever you have acquired in the meantime, you must lose and start at the beginning. But the child kicks when it is unhappy or denied anything it kicks. Let it kick. Just look at the kicking. And if you are too afraid of the society to kick convincingly, look at that too. I know it is painful business, but there is no remedy except one. The search for remedies must cease. If you are angry or in pain, separate yourself from anger and pain and watch them. Externalization is the first step to liberation. Step away and look. The physical events will go on happening, but by themselves they have no importance. It is the mind alone that matters. Whatever happens, you cannot kick and scream in an airline office or in a bank. Society does not allow it. If you do not like their ways or are not prepared to endure them, don't fly or carry money. Walk, and if you cannot walk, don't travel. If you deal with society, you must accept its ways, for its ways are your ways. Your needs and demands have created them. Your desires are so complex and contradictory. No wonder the society you create is also complex and contradictory. I do see and admit that the outer chaos is merely a reflection of my own inner disharmony. But what is the remedy? Don't seek remedies. Sometimes one is in a state of grace, and life is happy and harmonious. But such a state does not last. The mood changes, and all goes wrong. If you could only keep quiet, clear of memories and expectations, you would be able to discern the beautiful pattern of events. It is your restlessness that causes chaos. For full 3 hours that I spent in the airline office, I was practicing patience and forbearance. It did not speed up matters. At least it did not slow them down, as your kicking would surely have done. You want immediate results. We do not dispense magic here. Everybody does the same mistake, refusing the means but wanting the ends. You want peace and harmony in the world, but refuse to have them in yourself. Follow my advice implicitly, and you will not be disappointed. I cannot solve your problem by mere words. You have to act on what I told you and persevere. It is not the right advice that liberates, but the action based on it. Just like a doctor, after giving the patient an injection, tells him, "Now keep quiet, do nothing more, just keep quiet." I am telling you, you have got your injection. Now keep quiet, just keep quiet. You have nothing else to do. My guru did the same. He would tell me something and then said, "Now keep quiet. Don't go on ruminating all the time. Stop. Be silent." I can keep quiet for an hour in the morning, but the day is long and many things happen that throw me out of balance. It is easy to say be silent, but to be silent when all is screaming in me and around me? Please tell me how it is done. All that needs doing can be done in peace and silence. There is no need to get upset. It is all theory which does not fit the facts. I am returning to Europe with nothing to do there. My life is completely empty. If you just try to keep quiet, all will come. The work, the strength for work, the right motive. Must you know everything beforehand? Don't be anxious about your future. Be quiet now, and all will fall in place. The unexpected is bound to happen, while the anticipated may never come. Don't tell me you cannot control your nature. You need not control it. Throw it overboard. Have no nature to fight or to submit to. No experience will hurt you, provided you don't make it into a habit. Of the entire universe, you are the subtle cause. All is because you are. Grasp this point firmly and deeply and dwell on it repeatedly. To realize this is absolutely true is liberation. If I am the seed of my universe, then a rotten seed am I. By the fruit the seed is known. What is wrong with your world that you swear at it? It is full of pain. Nature is neither pleasant nor painful. It is all intelligence and beauty. Pain and pleasure are in the mind. Change your scale of values, and all will change. Pleasure and pain are mere disturbances of the senses. Treat them equally and there will be only bliss. And the world is what you make it. By all means, make it happy. Only contentment can make you happy. Desires fulfilled breed more desires. Keeping away from all desires and contentment in what comes by itself is a very fruitful state, a precondition to the state of fullness. Don't distrust its apparent sterility and emptiness. Believe me, it is the satisfaction of desires that breeds misery. Freedom from desires is bliss. There are things we need. What you need will come to you. If you do not ask for what you do not need, yet only few people reach this state of complete dispassion and detachment. It is a very high state, the very threshold of liberation. I have been barren for the last 2 years, desolate and empty, and often was I praying for death to come. Well, with your coming here, events have started rolling. Let things happen as they happen. They will sort themselves out nicely in the end. You need not strain towards the future. The future will come to you on its own. For some time longer you will remain sleepwalking as you do now, bereft of meaning and assurance. But this period will end, and you will find your work both fruitful and easy. There are always moments when one feels empty and estranged. Such moments are most desirable, for it means the soul had cast its moorings and is sailing for distant places. This is detachment, when the old is over and the new has not yet come. If you are afraid, the state may be distressing, but there is really nothing to be afraid of. Remember the instruction. Whatever you come across, go beyond. The Buddha's rule to remember what needs to be remembered. But I find it so difficult to remember the right thing at the right moment. With me, forgetting seems to be the rule. It is not easy to remember when every situation brings up a storm of desires and fears. Craving, born of memory, is also the destroyer of memory. How am I to fight desire? There is nothing stronger. The waters of life are thundering over the rocks of objects, desirable or hateful. Remove the rocks by insight and detachment, and the same waters will flow deep and silent and swift, in greater volume and with greater power. Don't be theoretical about it. Give time to thought and consideration. If you desire to be free, neglect not the nearest step to freedom. It is like climbing a mountain. Not a step can be missed. One step less, and the summit is not reached. Compassion is but another word for the refusal to suffer for imaginary reasons. We were discussing one day the person, the witness, the absolute. Vyakti, Vyakta, Avyakta. As far as I remember, you said that the absolute alone is real, and the witness is absolute only at a given point of space and time. The person is the organism, gross and subtle, illumined by the presence of the witness. I do not seem to grasp the matter clearly. Could we discuss it again? You also use the terms Mahadakash, Chidikash, and Paramakash. How are they related to person, witness, and the Absolute? Mahadakash is nature. The ocean of existence is the physical space with all that can be contacted through the senses. Chidakash is the expanse of awareness, the mental space of time, perception, and cognition. Paramakash is the timeless and spaceless reality, mindless, undifferentiated, the infinite potentiality, the source and origin, the substance and the essence, both matter and consciousness, yet beyond both. It cannot be perceived but can be experienced as ever witnessing the witness, perceiving the perceiver, the origin and the end of all manifestation, the root of time and space, the prime cause in every chain of causation. What is the difference between Bayata and Aviator? There is no difference. It is like light and daylight. The universe is full of light which you do not see, but the same light you see as daylight. And what the daylight reveals is the Bayata. The person is always the object. The witness is the subject, and their relation of mutual dependence is the reflection of their absolute identity. You imagine that they are distinct and separate states. They are not. They are the same consciousness at rest and in movement, each state conscious of the other. In Chit, man knows God, and God knows man. In Chit, the man shapes the world, and the world shapes man. Chit is the link, the bridge between extremes, the balancing and uniting factor in every experience. The totality of the perceived is what you call matter. The totality of all perceivers is what you call the universal mind. The identity of the two, manifesting itself as perceptibility and perceiving, harmony and intelligence, loveliness and loving, reasserts itself eternally. The three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, are they only in matter or also in the mind? In both, of course, because the two are not separate. It is only the absolute that is beyond gunas. In fact, these are but points of view, ways of looking. They exist only in the mind. Beyond the mind, all distinctions cease. Is the universe a product of the senses? Just as you recreate your world on waking up, so is the universe unrolled. The mind with its 5 organs of perception, 5 organs of action, and 5 vehicles of consciousness appears as memory, thought, reason, and selfhood. The sciences have made much progress. We know the body and the mind much better than our ancestors. Your traditional way, describing and analyzing mind and matter, is no longer valid. But where are your scientists with their sciences? Are they not again images in your own mind? Here lies the basic difference. To me, they are not my own projections. They were before I was born, and shall be there when I am dead. Of course, once you accept time and space as real, you will consider yourself minute and short-lived. But are they real? Do they depend on you or you on them? As body, you are in space. As mind, you are in time. But are you mere body with the mind in it? Have you ever investigated? I had neither the motive nor the method. I am suggesting both. But the actual work of insight and detachment, viveka, vairagya, is yours. The only motive I can perceive is my own causeless and timeless happiness. And what is the method? Happiness is incidental. The true and effective motive is love. You see people suffer and you seek the best way of helping them. The answer is obvious. First, put yourself beyond the need of help. Be sure your attitude is of pure goodwill, free of expectation of any kind. Those who seek mere happiness end up in a sublime indifference, while love will never rest. As to method, there is only one. You must come to know yourself, both what you appear to be and what you are. Clarity and charity go together. Each needs and strengthens the other. Compassion implies the existence of an objective world full of avoidable sorrow. The world is not objective, and the sorrow of it is not avoidable. Compassion is but another word for the refusal to suffer for imaginary reasons. If the reasons are imaginary, why should the suffering be inevitable? It is always the false that makes you suffer. The false desires and fears, the false values and ideas, the false relationships between people. Abandon the false, and you are free of pain. Truth makes happy. Truth liberates. The truth is that I am a mind imprisoned in a body, and this is a very unhappy truth. You are neither the body nor in the body. There is no such thing as body. You have grievously misunderstood yourself. To understand rightly, investigate. But I was born as a body, in a body, and shall die with the body as a body. This is your misconception. Inquire, investigate, doubt yourself and others. To find the truth, you must not cling to your convictions. If you are sure of the immediate, you will never reach the ultimate. Your idea that you were born and that you will die is absurd. Both logic and experience contradict it. All right, I shall not insist that I am the body. You have a point here. But here and now, as I talk to you, I am in my body, obviously. The body may not be me, but it is mine. The entire universe contributes incessantly to your existence. Hence, the entire universe is your body. In that sense, I agree. My body influences me deeply. In more than one way, my body is my destiny. My character, my moods, the nature of my reactions, my desires and fears. Inborn or acquired, they are all based on the body. A little alcohol, some drug or other, and all changes. Until the drug wears off, I become another man. All this happens because you think yourself to be the body. Realize your real self, and even drugs will have no power over you. You smoke? My body kept a few habits which may as well continue till it dies. There is no harm in them. You eat meat. I was born among meat-eating people, and my children are eating meat. I eat very little and make no fuss. Meat-eating implies killing. Obviously, I make no claims of consistency. You think absolute consistency is possible? Prove it by example. Don't preach what you do not practice. Coming back to the idea of having been born, you are stuck with what your parents told you. All about conception, pregnancy and birth, infant, child, youngster, teenager, and so on. Now, divest yourself of the idea that you are the body with the help of the contrary idea that you are not the body. It is also an idea, no doubt. Treat it like something to be abandoned when its work is done. The idea that I am not the body gives reality to the body, when in fact there is no such thing as body. It is but a state of mind. You can have many bodies and as diverse as you like. Just remember steadily what you want and reject the incompatibles. I'm like a box within a box, the outer box acting as the body and the one next to it as the indwelling soul. Abstract the outer box, and the next becomes the body, and the one next to it, the soul. It is an infinite series, an endless opening of boxes. Is the last one the ultimate soul? If you have a body, you must have a soul. Here your simile of a nest of boxes applies. But here and now, through all your bodies and souls, shines awareness, the pure light of Chit. Hold on to it unswervingly. Without awareness, the body would not last a second. There is in the body a current of energy, affection, and intelligence, which guides, maintains, and energizes the body. Discover that current and stay with it. Of course, all these are manners of speaking. Words are as much a barrier as a bridge. Find the spark of life that weaves the tissues of your body and be with it. It is the only reality the body has. What happens to that spark of life after death? It is beyond time. Birth and death are but points in time. Life weaves eternally its many webs. The weaving is in time, but life itself is timeless. Whatever name and shape you give to its expressions, it is like the ocean, never changing, ever changing. All you say sounds beautifully convincing, yet my feeling of being just a person in the world, strange and alien, often inimical and dangerous, does not cease. Being a person, limited in space and time, how can I possibly realize myself as the opposite? A depersonalized, universalized awareness of nothing in particular. You assert yourself to be what you are not and deny yourself to be what you are. You omit the element of pure cognition, of awareness free from all personal distortions. Unless you admit the reality of Chit, you will never know yourself. What am I to do? I do not see myself as you see me. Maybe you are right and I am wrong, but how can I cease to be what I feel I am? A prince who believes himself to be a beggar can be convinced conclusively in one way only. He must behave as a prince and see what happens. Behave as if what I say is true, and judge by what actually happens. All I ask is the little faith needed for making the first step. With experience will come confidence, and you will not need me any more. I know what you are, and I'm telling you. Trust me for a while. To be here and now, I need my body and its senses. To understand, I need a mind. The body and the mind are only symptoms of ignorance, of misapprehension. Behave as if you were pure awareness, bodiless and mindless, spaceless and timeless, beyond where and when and how. Dwell on it. Think of it. Learn to accept its reality. Don't oppose it and deny it all the time. Keep an open mind, at least. Yoga is bending the outer to the inner. Make your mind and body express the real, which is all and beyond all. By doing, you succeed, not by arguing. Kindly allow me to come back to my first question. How does the air of being a person originate? The absolute precedes time. Awareness comes first. A bundle of memories and mental habits attracts attention. Awareness gets focalized, and a person suddenly appears. Remove the light of awareness, go to sleep or swoon away, and the person disappears. The person, Vyakti, flickers. Awareness, Vyakta, contains all space and time, and the absolute, Avyakta, is.